Hayden, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you, Wayne?
Super tired. But after your this one-to-one conversation with you, right, I'll be going. I'll hit the sack and
Finally.
at least 4 hours of uninterrupted sleep, and continue on with my night session because I think I have another 12 more speakers coming on to the festival. So yeah, trucking along, but with you adding a fuel, providing me this push factor. So thank you for agreeing to do this, Hayden. Really appreciate that.
Anytime.
Tell us about your recent project. I think there's great news that you just posted on LinkedIn, on your social as well, that your recent event is going to be available for streaming, right, on OTT. Tell us more about that news.
Our event is, I'm the premier founder of the ASEAN Fashion Designer Showcase. So this year we did an online version of the show. It's called the ASEAN International Digital Fashion Week. So whereby we not only showcase the works of ASEAN designers, but we also bring in international designers who are our partners that we have showcased digitally on their platforms, like in Kazakhstan, US, the FNL Network app, Serbia Fashion Week, Stockholm Fashion Fair, and Mahmoud Fashion Week also. So they have come in to support the ASEAN Fashion Design International Digital Fashion Week, and from that we did the show here live in Singapore. We streamed it live for 4 days. So after which that show has gone on, is now being streamed in China via the website and on the app with CCTV. And yesterday we launched it with FNL Network on the FNL International Digital Fashion Week app. So you have to just download the app. It's free, and you can choose whatever shows you want to watch.
That's fantastic. I mean, that's a great piece of news, right? It's like seeing the fruits of your labor, not just blossom, but you're able to actually get more reach as a result of all this content now made available on more multi-channels, right?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, but I think it's good that everyone can reach out to these designers because, with all the pandemic going on, all our realistic shows has been shut down, totally shut down. So this is the only way we have to go now, just virtual.
And of course, you're one of the prime movers and shakers in terms of like pushing, your fashion industry and of course some of your shows as well, right? On the virtual platform and using the live streaming as a go-to platform for continuing to do all these great work and also bringing together all these great fashion designers around the region, right? So you're showcasing them, you're continuously pushing out content as well with all these fashion week events. So tell us, in terms of like putting together a show like this where you feature 64 designers from 21 countries and you collaborated with all these different partners, right? How much effort and time does it take to put on a project of this scale?
Time is actually we this was just decided on the spot the moment when I decided with my partner, the homeground.asia, that say, come, let's do a ASEAN version of the online show. So I said, oh, okay, let's do it then. And that we got the show going, the whole show compiled, and it was actually 2 months. So yeah, the time is short, but because of the team's commitment and dedication and passion to this project for the ASEAN team, they did their videos with a lot of passion and pushed it out in time, and that we could compile it. So that was a good factor. For the international teams of designers, is because some of them have been on lockdown. Some tried to film, some we have used existing films. So to put it all together was a period of actually within a month, we compiled the whole show to put it together.
That's amazing. And in such a short amount of time, you guys must have worked like throughout 24/7 in order to make sure that this is a successful event.
No, not 24/7. It's closer to the date, then it's a bit 24/7. But before that, of course, there's a lot of brainstorming, as in like what goes through your head. How would you like to see the show? How would the viewer perceive the show to be? And because the varieties of designers on this platform are really vast, means we have new designers to veteran designers, we have accessory designers, shoe designers. So to compile it into a show that people can relate to, how to put it together. So there's a lot of think through and how to do the lineup. And each day is a different showcase. So it's a 4-day show. So one show is each show is 1 hour. So it's just the whole thing through of the lineup as to what an audience would see and want to see to keep them interested to look at the show.
Was the idea for this event, you're doing someone else's idea, suggestion, or was it like a client or a partner's request?
No, this was my idea actually. So, but I mean, this is an old idea that we just repackage it to a modern day version to make it content available and friendly to the viewer, so that they don't have to go through a lot of off-on sound, sound blockage and all that stuff. So we had to repackage it in a very modern way. That's it.
I think this is great because it makes it so accessible. And like the last thing I want is to attend another webinar type of event where you have to create an account, you have to log in order to have access to all this great content, right? So one of the things about your event is that it's accessible to everyone, and you're doing replays as well on social.
Correct.
So tell us in terms of the reach, right? And how many people have actually watched these events?
Honestly, I haven't had time to go and look into the numbers, but I know the numbers are fairly huge from what I've checked a couple of weeks back. So, but now because I'm planning for a new showcase happening in August, and I'm planning for next year's showcase. So that's why I really haven't looked at the numbers, to be honest with you.
But I'm thinking aloud, this is just something that I'm estimating because you are featuring 64 designers from dozens of countries, right? So the amount of reach in those countries must be immense because everyone is also experiencing this pandemic at home. And when you're at home, right, you have more time to maybe consume content, especially live streaming or virtual events like yours. And in so many countries, especially there's such a vast population in Southeast Asia. So maybe share with us in terms of the scene for fashion, events like this. How big a scale in terms of the demand as well? Are we talking about potential reach of millions of people in Southeast Asia, and also in terms of like how fashion has taken on in this part of the world, right? And people, being more interested in fashion than ever before because of the prevalence of platforms like Instagram. And of course, there are more people talking about fashion these days. So it's more under the spotlight. People's taste or desire or demand for that has grown, right? And there are not many people who are doing fashion content these days. So do you think that this is going to be continuing to grow in terms of your prediction as well? How this fashion, doing events in fashion, for example, do you see a lot of potential and a lot of legs to see more growth in these areas?
I think before pandemic time, fashion shows or realistic fashion shows were still going on. I mean, before the pandemic, the global pandemic hit, the last pot that I and my team and I were in was actually in Nanning, China. So that was in January 2020. So we came back slightly before the whole global pandemic went haywire. Yeah, so I mean, yes, there is still a demand for people to watch realistic fashion shows, and people are still interested in fashion shows. But because of the pandemic thing, they have learned and to understand more what online fashion shows are about. Online fashion shows is actually not a new platform in that sense of speaking. It was done before, but it's just that in this current time now, it has become more apparent to people that, hey, this is the only way we can see a fashion show. And so the content of the fashion show has to be vast. So that's why I put 64 designers in the showcase to give a different, everyone's palette of fashion and taste is very, very different. So we try to give each one a bit of taste, basically, so they can enjoy a bit of fashion during this time. You may not buy it, but at least you can enjoy it because you have nowhere to go.
And of course, with all this pent up demand as well, right? Is basically, your content will drive a lot of interest, a lot of demand in terms of driving them to the e-stores to also maybe make a purchase, because it's like immediately after you see something that you like, maybe a design that you like, or how it's been worn by all these fashion models, and it's all these designers coming onto the show to talk about the process of designing those pieces as well. It inspires people to actually go to the website and actually make a purchase, right? So do you find that there's a connect between e-commerce and also the fashion events that you do is driving a lot of traffic, driving a lot of conversions to people in Southeast Asia who are now able to make a purchase, anywhere from their smartphones?
Yes and no, in a sense of speaking, because still in Asia, a lot of us think that foreign brands are better. So the support for local brands is still not quite there yet. But by offering this platform, we hope that people become more aware of local brands, what local brands can offer. So in that sense, in the near future, they will be more apparent to know that, hey, actually local brands are just as good as foreign brands. We should support local brands. I think that is an important message that we have to put across. Supporting local brands. It's not just about foreign brands or big brands that have a big A&P budget. Because local brands are good, but we don't have that big A&P budget. So yeah, offering a showcase of this level and giving them this platform makes audience aware that there are good local brands.
This is fantastic because, it's all about communication and marketing, end of the day, to really cut through the noise and maybe even arm wrestle this, against the likes of all these global labels or all these overseas fashion labels, right? And designs. And of course, we always want to champion our region, some of the those who are creating great work, especially. And you are really doing, great the job in terms of like getting their story told, and doing showcases like this allow them to be discovered by new audiences. So I think in terms of like getting the message out and communicating, do you think that these days is even more necessary to be really super loud about doing what you do, and to also like have this in multi-channel platforms where it's not just on the usual like Facebook, Instagram, where designers can actually share their work, share their designs, or tell their stories behind the process, but they should also get on to interesting audio platforms, to tell their stories, to actually be super loud about what they do, even on platforms like Clubhouse. Are you on Clubhouse yet?
Not yet. Soon.
I'm going to send you an invite because I want you to experience it. And I understand that, you're going to be also like see more action in Clubhouse. And one of the platforms, or one of the great things about this platform, is that we are predicting that there will be 1 million podcast shows that will be produced or birthed as a result of Clubhouse, because there's so many people now testing their signals in Clubhouse and using that as a platform to really be super loud about what they do. So if we are given an invite, right, starting today, for example, who would you invite, to actually jam with you and maybe talk about fashion design, to maybe talk about, fashion designs in the region that we should champion and tell their stories? Are there anyone in mind that you think would be great to jam with you on an episode where
so many
on Clubhouse?
people that I have collaborated with over the last year. One of which whom I would invite would be Felix Fu. He's the choreographer that I worked with the last project in China, Nanning. He's a great choreographer because he puts a lot of passion into understanding the designer's work, their character, their lifestyle. So I would like to explore about his thoughts more about fashion. Another person I would really like to chat with on this platform would be Rocco. Rocco is the CEO of FNL Network, who has developed this app that all these fashion can be shown throughout the world. So these are some of the great people that I would love to chat with. Of course, there's my whole team of ASEAN designers. Because each one of them does have a different story to tell. And it would be interesting for me to be able to share with the audience what their story is about, what their DNA is about, what is their passion, what drives them, what motivates them. So this not only gives inspiration for people to move on, but also gives inspiration to the young fashion students so that they would have a better direction of which to move in the future, in the near future when they graduate.
This is fantastic. I think fashion is still very much about the visual element, right? But you're going to complement, that visual element which you already have with your showcases over your live streams and your websites and on your social pages as well. And now you're complementing that visual element with that audio, the social audio platform element as well, to invite more people to come and join in your conversation and really, lift the industry up, raise the tide, so that all boats get lifted at the same time. You're able to impact more on the fashion designers around 21 countries, I think, in Asia and beyond, right? So is this something that you are really, really excited and looking forward to?
Whenever there's a new project, I'm very excited. Like coming on this show with you, I'm really excited. It's like, oh, podcast. Okay, this is new. Okay, I'll try it. It's fun. I like it, Wayne. Thank you so much for that. And yes, whether I will pursue it, I might, to be honest with you, because it's interesting. And I think it's a good way for audience to relate to a designer, what the designer is about. Because it's just besides seeing your work. Your work is one aspect. What are you? What is the designer? Because at the end of the day, it's about a lifestyle that the designer projects that will fit the lifestyle of the potential customer out there. So that is important.
And also in Clubhouse, right, something that I really amazed by Clubhouse is the opportunity to meet people from all walks of life, from all verticals. And it's not just the celebrities and, the famous people who are on it that you have access to, but also, people from all walks of life, the average, Joes and Janes as well. And you're able to really get in the mix and engage in conversation and connect with people. So it's like, I understand that what you are doing, throughout your entire career journey, right, is about connecting people. And most of what you do, either dressing Miss Universe Singapore or like designing National Day costumes during National Day parades, for example, these are all about connecting people through your work. And I think that you're someone who likes to connect with people, right? So Clubhouse is definitely for you.
Yes. You just made me commit. I know. Yes, Wayne. Yeah, but I mean, addressing is about people. It's not just about whether you are a celebrity or you're a title holder. It's not that. I mean, title holders, yes, it's a boost because you're aesthetically perfect in the sense of speaking. So of course, whatever you put on will work. But the real test for a designer is dressing a real person, a real woman, a real guy, because everyone's body is different. There is no standard platform of this is a standard body. No, everyone's body is totally different in terms of dimensions and length and all that. So if you are able to make a real person look good, means you can actually make anyone look good. So that is a challenge on this, I think. It's not just making celebs and title holders look good.
That's a great point. How do designers actually make better designs?
Designs as in the physical clothes, or actually is making the clothes to fit the body, or picking the right clothes to fit the right person's body, lifestyle, character. I think that is important. Skin tone, face shape, and all that. So it's not just about a design, but understanding, it boils down to understanding a person in order to dress the person.
Fantastic. Before we let you go, we want to squeeze in one last question. Because this is a podcast festival, right? PodFestAsia. So we definitely want to ask you some podcast-related question. What are your favorite fashion industry podcasts available that help you improve your knowledge, your skills, grow your passion for the fashion industry, or just be entertained? Are there any that you listen to religiously?
My religiously first honest question and answer to you is that you are the first one. So I haven't had the time. So, but I'm very thrilled and very, very happy to listen to your podcast because I find it very, very entertaining and you put in so much effort. So I will do my part and listen to other podcasts So I can't answer the question because you are my first one.
Thank you so much. It's always great to be someone's first, podcast show that they consume. And if there's, any impact that I put out to this universe, right? And actually able to have someone say that, oh, you're the person responsible for the first ever podcast episode I ever downloaded. I think that really makes my day more than anything else, like money gains or other, selfish benefits that one could maybe expect from doing what they're doing, either in their job or their career, right? So this is the reason why I'm doing this festival. And thank you so much for agreeing to come on this festival to tell us your great events and some of the success they've gotten over, the last few weeks, and having the ability for us, to also stream your event from the comfort of our living room. I think that's a big thing. And optimizing reach is always what we are after. And, if there's anything else I could do to help to get, your message out or to showcase or put the spotlight on your fashion designers that are, appearing in our shows as well, please do let me know. And I would love to participate in your Clubhouse events as well, so that I'll be part of your conversations with all these fashion designers in the region.
You will be my mentor.
No, we learn from each other. Yeah, because you inspire me back as well.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I mean, collaborations is about inspiring each other and getting things moving. Just making an effort to get things going. It's not just about you, but it's not about me. It's about us working together. Collaboration. That is the whole keyword nowadays. It's not about me anymore. It's very passé.
And on that note, I think this is a great way to close this session. So thank you so much again, Hayden. And thanks for making the effort to come on to this festival. And I really appreciate you. And I hope to meet you for coffee very soon in downtown Singapore.
Okay, take care.
It's a day. See you very soon.
Stay safe.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
So that's Hayden Ng. Check out his ASEAN International Digital Fashion Week. He has a website where he's streaming all the replays from his recent shows. I think he recently did a show for his Chinese partners as well. So do check that out. And right now the time on the clock is 2:30, almost 2:30. So I'm going to go for my short nap and be back at around 7 p.m. for the final night session for PodFestAsia third virtual event. Thank you so much for sticking with us and watching this live stream. I'll be back really soon. See you. Bye-bye.